So the direction the NBA is going in terms of small ball and importance of three-pointers and things like that, I don't know how significant the center position is going to be if we fast forward another 10 or 15 years. But for right now, the position is still decently strong. It's definitely been better in the past, but there's still quite a few big men who can man the paint for a team and make a significant impact. So here's your top 5 NBA centers. Number 1, going with Demarcus Cousins, Boogie. Of course, there are questions about Boogie's ability to keep the locker room chill, I guess. There was, of course, some word that he wasn't able to get along with George Karl very well. Look, I think Demarcus Cousins wants to be in a winning environment. He's just very vocal about when something isn't going right. But it's not like the Sacramento Kings have everything figured out either. But besides that, Boogie is a beast down low. He grabs as many rebounds as you could want him to. And he's a very good defensive player when he's locked in all the way, which admittingly is not every single game, but majority of the time Boogie is a pretty damn good defensive player, so I am going to put him number 1. He also has developed a bit of an outside game. He shot quite a few three-pointers last season, maybe a bit too many, but his mid-range game is good, and Sacramento Kings have been having some trouble finding a big man to go next to DeMarcus. I think Boogie can play the power forward or center position because he's that talented, so I think it'll make their search of another big man a little easier. Willie Cauley-Stein is promising, so we'll see how that goes for them moving forward. Number 2, I'm going Karl Anthony Towns. I understand that he was just a rookie and he's going into his second season, but the guy averaged like 18 and 11. He's a fantastic mid-range shooter, very good from around the basket, smart, right place, right time sort of guy. You can run pretty much any sort of play for him, a pick and pop, a pick and roll, a post-up. Now, defensively, Towns, he has room to improve, but he's already pretty damn decent as a defensive player as a rookie. Now, he does make his occasional mistakes that you would expect a rookie to make, but I think combined with his scoring and the ability to score from everywhere on top of the rebounding and still being okay defensively, I'm going to put him number 2 this quickly into his NBA career, which is pretty damn wild. And I think he could end up being number 1 on this list next season, to be honest with you. Number 3, Andre Drummond, who finally had his breakout season. It took a while because Greg Monroe and Josh Smith were in his way for a while, but Stan Van, being the smart coach that he is, realized what he had in Drummond and freed all the space up for him to do work inside. Grabbed a whole lot of rebounds, very good around the rim on both sides. He could be a bit better of a shot blocker, but still Drummond, his ability to run up and down the floor, catch an alley-oop, be in the pick and roll, and just be a two-way player around the rim, I think gets him to number 3. And he's decent defensively when it comes to pick and roll defense and things like that. He's not just a liability if he's outside of the paint on defense. We're going Marc Gasol, number 4. And Gasol suffered from injuries this season, but when he's healthy, he's in the same vein as Karl Anthony Towns with his ability to hit mid-range and finish well from inside, and as a result, give you a lot of options on offense. He's also a very good passer. He averages about 4 assists a game. The Grizzlies use him a lot in high post action to dump the ball down to Zach Randolph, but they also use him as a way to get it to guys cutting towards the basket. So I think Marc Gasol, his ability to hit mid-range, finish below the rim, his passing ability, and he's a very good defensive player when he is healthy, I think that still gets him number 4. But the reason why he's not above Drummond, in my opinion, is the rebounding differential is so drastic. I mean, Gasol only grabs 7 rebounds a game. I mean, there are some nights when he only gets 2 or 3 boards, and I mean, he's great on offense and defense, but if you're only grabbing that many rebounds, I don't know if I can put you ahead of Andre Drummond. I can put you ahead of DeAndre Jordan, however, because while DeAndre also kills Marc Gasol in terms of rebounds, DeAndre can't do anything offensively besides finish under the basket, which you could say the same thing for Drummond, but Drummond has actually shown some ability to post up a little bit, enough to where I'd put him over Gasol. DeAndre's offense is pretty much catching lobs and if he's open under the basket, which is good and it's valuable, and I'm going to put DeAndre number 5 because he might be the best defensive center overall. But still, I think that offense holds DeAndre back. So there's your top 5. Demarcus Cousins, Karl Anthony Towns, Andre Drummond, Marc Gasol, DeAndre Jordan. As for some guys who I did not include, one of which being Hassan Whiteside, I mean, I've said it before, I'll say it again with Whiteside. He really needs to improve on his pick and roll defense and his help defense. I mean, his rim protection is off the charts, no doubt about it, but I mean, all Brad Stevens needs to do to nullify Whiteside is put Kelly Olynyk in the game because Whiteside's not going to defend him. Like, you get Whiteside outside of the paint and his defensive value just dips. Not only that, but he's also very liable to sink back into the paint because he wants to get the block shot, which leaves guys open. But that being said, Whiteside, I mean, he's very good around the rim, which is similar to Drummond, but like I mentioned, Drummond has shown some abilities to post up, and he's also decent from outside of the paint defensively, whereas Whiteside has some work to do. If we need some other guys, Brook Lopez, he's a very good offensive player, not that good defensively. The same thing can be said for guys like Pau Gasol and Enes Kanter. An interesting one is Al Horford, who I thought about putting on here, but I feel like Al Horford is the same type of player as Marc Gasol, but he's a step below in pretty much everything. I think Gasol is just finishing inside, posting up, just more valuable on offense and defense. And I do think that the discrepancy between DeAndre Jordan's defense and the versatility that Al Horford gives you on offense, I give an edge to DeAndre still. So, also you can put Nikola Vucevic into the good offensively, not very good defensively category. Rudy Gobert, Steven Adams, they're awesome on defense, but they don't do enough on offense. So, there's your top 5 centers. Shout out to Hassan Whiteside, and I'm done.